What's your religion?
I'm a Christian.
The Bible. I swear by the Almighty God.
I swear by the Almighty God
That the evidence I'm going to give.
that the evidence I'm going to give
Touching the matter before court.
Touching the matter before court.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth. The whole truth.
Nothing but the truth.
Nothing but the
So
truth.
help me God.
So help me God.
This is Simbwa Paul.
Yes, sir.
Can you repeat your full name?
Can you summarize, yes, how many activities that you are relying on? Are there two or?
There are two aspects. Three also. The one of 17. The one of 14. There's also another one of 14. And maybe for clarity, the one of 14 was done by Barunji, Dingana, and Advocates. Another one was made by, joined today by Wameri, Fargo, Face, and Wada. And the other one was made by joint Famo, Hego James, Advocates, together with Barunji, Dingana. Yes, Mr. Paul, what do you do for a living?
I am a self-employed person. I'm an engineer, telecom engineer, and I run my personal company.
You are a telecom engineer.
Yes.
And you also have a private company.
Yes.
What is your role in National Unity Platform?
I am the Senior Administrative Secretary of National Unity Platform.
So the evidence that the National Unity Platform is a registered party and you are the new the Senior Administrative Secretary. Your position,
yes,
is in the National Unity Platform.
Yes.
And that is your position.
Yes.
And I believe you are the current Administrative Secretary.
I agree with you.
I've also been told that you also had another position before you changed the party name. What was
Yes.
your position?
I was a Deputy Secretary General for some period, and then elected Secretary General towards that was in January.
So you rose in the ranks
Yes.
in the former in the same party.
Yes.
The three aspects all defined by you for this one I report.
I am certain of the three affidavits.
In one of the affidavits, the one done by the one of 14th, this party by Mr. KIBALAMA, the second respondent.
I beg your pardon?
We recruited this party by the second respondent, Mr. KIBALAMA.
Yes.
And you also state that it's your maternal uncle.
It is true.
And you have high respect for an uncle, I guess.
Nobody wouldn't have respect for his maternal uncle.
Some of
Yes.
You have high respect.
Yes, I do have respect.
And you move together in this political journey, in transiting from National Unity Republic Party to National Unity Platform.
Yeah, we moved together.
You did move together
We moved together.
as the Secretary General.
Yes.
You also can confirm this one report that you applied for the change of name to the Electoral Commission as the Secretary General.
That application was,
Did you apply?
as a party, we did.
And your application was successful, the Electoral Commission.
True.
That very application was based on the records that you submitted to the Electoral Commission. Was that the basis for the change of name? Was it based on the records you submitted to the Electoral Commission?
Yes.
On 14th September, in your evidence, you say you are, after consulting, you now denounce the evidence you gave in Kwago's law firm, the evidence you gave there. Now, can you confirm this on a report that you made Wameri, you and your uncle, and others, and came up with evidence you are owning in the law firm of Kwago? Because it is in your evidence, I can read it to you. You want me to read this for you?
Yeah, you can read.
That on Sunday 13th of September 2020, I made an affidavit in reply to the above matter using MS of Kwago and Kwago advocates with my legal counsel, which was subsequently filed in court together with a band of other affidavits in reply for the first denied respondent. That's what you say. Is that true?
It is true.
Okay, that's true.
Yes.
And which law firm, where did you go? To Kwago. That's what you say. You and your lawyer.
The Lukwago and Company Advocates, is it what we want to name?
No, where were you?
When?
On 13th of September 2020.
It was that Sunday when I was at the office at National Unity Platform,
Yes.
and I was actually, it was not Council Wameri, it was Brian. It was
Kwago.
Brian of Lukwago,
Yes.
whom I sat with, and we came up with that affidavit. Yes.
In that meeting, who else was in the meeting? Was your uncle in the meeting? He had been Mr. KIBALAMA.
Mr. KIBALAMA wasn't in the meeting.
Who else was in the meeting?
It was Council Lewis, who is the Executive Secretary of National Unity Platform, and Brian.
Now, in that very meeting, you report the entire after for 14.
Come again?
Before Brian,
Yes.
you stated that very evidence and you signed it.
Yeah, but of course it was
No, you
Yes,
signed it.
yes.
Now, what prompted you to put further evidence after 14?
It was after I signed this affidavit, the first affidavit, with Lukwago and company advocates, that I made the consultations, because in the first place,
You made consultation
yes,
from who?
I made consultation, of course, from my other counsels.
You had other lawyer at this point?
Yes, because what happens, I had other lawyers, because I do other
Who are these
businesses.
lawyers? Who are these lawyers that you consulted? And what was the nature of consultation? Because you are already opposing the application.
No, the nature of consultation, but you see why I had to sign this, because
It is not why you signed. Party person. So you always three. Was that a group?
when I look at the main shoot, where I was the 9th respondent, I
No, in
think.
the very time when you found taking the evidence, were you a group?
No, I wasn't a group.
What you were writing, what was read over to you, you believe was the true fact of what happened
Yes,
before you consulted.
yes,
Now, because when you consulted, there was change of position.
true.
Did you carry together with the evidence you made that with the new lawyers?
I beg your pardon?
Did you carry your evidence you asked them, the new lawyers? And
I wasn't given a copy from from the previous law firm that I signed with the first affidavit, so I didn't carry the evidence that I signed first.
so the new lawyers prepared evidence and gave it to sign.
Yes.
So you found it prepared.
No.
After
How?
consultation.
No. I didn't find it prepared, because this is what I spoke to them.
Now, when you consulted, you decided to concede to the application. What were you conceding? Because that's what you said in paragraph 3 of the affidavit of ayogezza and Balloon. You said after consulting, you decided to concede to the application. What motivated you into conceding?
What motivated me into conceding was the truth that I had to speak out.
What was this truth that you want to go to listen to? And what was the lie?
Having been in that position as Deputy Secretary General and into Secretary General of National Unity, Reconciliation and Development Party, I was reached out by the then party president, that is Mr. Nkonge KIBALAMA, and he told me there was a concern by Honorable Kyagulanyi, who is also called BOBI, to have a venture with us. I don't know the numerous meetings we had, but he told me we had to have a meeting. So we went to Magere and had a meeting with him. In that meeting was Councillor Lewis, Chairman Nyanzi, myself and Mr. Kibalama. So in that meeting, we all came up and agreed because there was an interest of working with us, and this party was so long, National Interreconciliation and Development Party. It was him who actually came up with an idea that we shortened the name to National Inter Platform. And we all agreed after that meeting in Magere. Then we proceeded, and the then party president made a budget, of course, through consultation with other members, and the budget was drawn and presented to the people who said they were going to fund the process of calling for a delegates conference and going about with whatever that was supposed to be gone about to change the party name. We proceeded and waited after presenting the budget. We waited and waited. Of course, in this process, we had to notify Electoral Commission of our intentions to change the party name, which they obliged to, and they gave us a go-ahead to change. So as this date drew closer, I asked him about where the funding was going to come from. I never heard from the other party, though, till the time when it was really the day to have the delegates conference. So we didn't have anything to run about to make.
Anything you mean money to facilitate the process?
Of course, we needed to have resources to put up, like hire a hotel, invite guests, and the rest of it. How do you fit guests, such kind of things. So that's why the budget was drawn. However, the budget was not funded, and when that day came, which we had notified the Electoral Commission, we asked ourselves what we are going to do. So we sat down, and
you and who?
it was me, Mr. President, the then President Kibalama Nkonge, and we agreed that we don't let this chance go like that.
And the chance was transiting the party
From National Interreconciliation and Development Party to NUP.
So at that point, you still had the intention to change the name?
Of course, when this was suggested, we all bought the idea. Pardon?
The chance you don't want, that you don't never want to let it go.
Yeah, was to change the party name.
Then finally it is changing. Let's forget about
yeah, the party name was changed, and we of course we knew the integrity that was required by the Electoral Commission, that is the resolutions, the minutes, and everything. So we arranged this and presented them. That is why.
So to you, what was required was submitted.
Yes.
For the change of the party name.
Yes.
And that is the evidence you gave while you were at Okwabu. That what was required to change the party name was done.
This is the evidence
that you gave while at Okwabu farm. That what was required to change the party name.
Issue here, we are mixing two things.
What about the issue?
Yes.
What about the issue? My question is very simple. At that point, when you are taking the spot, you are giving a proper account of what transpired for you to be able to change the name. That's what happened. Forget about the budget. That's what you stated in the affidavit of reform. Can I read this to you?
Yeah, you have read that, and I think I've told you I said a second affidavit.
Wait, forget about the second affidavit. At that point, you are giving a proper account of what transpired.
Yes.
Now, when you did the second affidavit and when you are conceding, what was the issue here? What really made you backtrack? And now the issue is about the budget.
So what I've told this honorable court is that we went through this process, okay, and we changed the name. Not going through.
No, I didn't ask that. In anticipation that you will be facilitated. What was the budget?
No. We are mixing two things here. I don't want us to draw so close to the issue of the budget because it is what could have necessitated the process to be right as it were supposed to be done. However, in the absence of that, we just sat down and made these minutes which we presented to the Electoral Commission, and the Electoral Commission granted the change of the name. This is what I mean to say here.
Do you have a problem with that?
Myself?
You presented records, and based on that, the Electoral Commission changed.
This is why I had to change from my first statement that I made, and thought after consultations.
So when did you get to know that actually what you did was wrong? Is it between 14th when you saw an affidavit in Kwagolo Farm and when you saw another affidavit? That is the time? You were motivated by what? Well, that process, the change of name has been done. You have been elected to a new position.
Yes.
What was the issue in between? The old lawyers and the new lawyers.
The issue here is what motivated.
No, what's the issue? Me, I want what changed you to transit from that position, higher position.
You have mentioned something of having come to the new leadership.
Yes.
Okay. We agreed on how we are going to be running in the new leadership.
Yes.
However, things still didn't work the way we agreed.
So the issue is that in the new leadership, what you agreed was not, they never lived up to the promise. That's why you changed?
It is so.
That's why you changed?
Yes.
The issue is not that you really changed your affidavit because you had submitted false declaration. The issue is about they did not follow their principles or their memorandum of support, whatever you had.
It's like you
are telling
irritating
court,
me.
you are telling court that what you had agreed with the old leadership.
I will stand to speak what I have to speak, and nothing but the truth. I've told you, I changed my mind because we were 9 people who were onto the shoot, and I was made to sign through Lukwago and company advocates when I'd not even seen the lawyers of Lukwago and the company. We didn't sit down. We didn't sit down to agree on to this. I was just called. They read me the affidavit, and I signed. So I did that. I read through, but it was hurriedly. Yes.
Don't make us look fool. You said, because examiner said, did you read through? You said yes. Now you are saying they read through. They read for me.
Your Worship, I read through the affidavit.
Don't begin changing statements.
I read through the affidavit and I signed.
I want to bring you back to where we have reached.
Yes.
You had told this one in the court that when you had that understanding at Margaret, when you transit to a new national unity platform, you were supposed to have run the party in a different mode or manner, which was not done. Is that your evidence?
It stems back from what we did.
No, is that your evidence? That you had an understanding that the moment you change the party name, I'm going to retain this position, or we are supposed to run in this manner.
But that is not mentioned anywhere in my affidavit.
No, Mr. Simbwa calls on. You later proceeded and did another affidavit with another lawyer in the space of 4 days. One with Ghana and another one with Israel. And in all these activities, you said you considered the application. What were you considering? Food. So the application said that what we did in changing the party name was wrong. Is this the very fact that you are considering to? Or there was change of mind after the sign after? What were you considering?
I was conceding to the fact that the party name was changed, not following.
Sorry?
I was conceding to the fact that all that was done during the process of changing the party name wasn't done in accordance with what our party constitution says.
So you, and this is basically the minutes or the information you gave to the Electoral Commission.
Exactly.
So what did you do wrong that you want this one to know in that very process? And with who?
It was giving false information to the Electoral Commission.
Who was giving false information? You, the secretary?
Together with the party president.
Who else?
And 2 other members of the executive.
Now, at that point, were you aware that what we are doing was criminal?
Can I know the 2 other members?
The other 2 members, you said that when you were trying to trap.
These 2 other members were Winston Chigozi and William Odinga.
William,
Odinga bali kudembe.
position?
Winston Chigozi was then the party treasurer, and then Odinga was in charge of mobilization and publicity.
Proceed.
So you, the first declaration being what? The resolutions?
I don't know.
What were these first declarations of the Electoral Commission?
These were the resolutions that were made, the minutes that were filed, and the attendance list of people who didn't actually attend the meeting.
So it is your evidence that all those were falsified.
Yes,
They were forged.
they were forged.
And you participated in the forgery.
I did participate.
You said you are an engineer.
Yes,
I agree with the bachelors at that point. So you participated in forgery, and that is your evidence of court.
if it necessary to speak the truth, this is what happened.
Now, at that point, was the Electoral Commission aware that what you were submitting was forged?
The Electoral Commission wasn't aware.
So what you submitted, at the face of it, one will not even detect that it was a forgery. Attendance list.
Unless if looked at critically by handwriting experts.
But if with no handwriting, you couldn't state that it is a forgery attendance.
I believe this is why the Electoral Commission accepted them.
Have you ever written to the Electoral Commission? When you discovered, when you became born again? Instead of coming to court, you say, no, Electoral Commission, I'm very sorry, I was part of this scam.
Your Worship, no.
No further question.
Mr. Simbwa Kagombe, how old are you?
I'm 39 years old.
You were saying you're an engineer. Do you have a bachelor's degree? And from where? When?
It is from Chambogo. That
When?
was in 2002.
2000?
And 2.
It's a degree.
Is it a degree?
It's a diploma. It's not a bachelor's.
An engineer must possess a degree. Do you agree?
I do agree with you.
You agree with me? So for starters, do not lie to quote that you're an engineer.
All right.
Number 2, where do you reside?
I reside at Komamboga, Kawem,
Komamboga, Kawem.
Kanyanya. Sorry.
Did you come from Komamboga this morning to come to court?
I didn't come from Omubaka this morning as I was coming to court.
For the last 2 weeks, have you been with Mr. KIBALAMA? Have you been staying with Mr. KIBALAMA somewhere other than home?
Yes.
And that's bad.
Yes.
Under state protection. Yes?
I couldn't really tell this, whether it was under state protection or
Did you
because
drive your car to Mbale? Or you were taken there by someone? And please do not create stories which are false.
No, I can't
Court
create
already has
stories.
evidence.
I can't create stories.
Did you drive yourself to Mbale? Or you were taken by someone?
We were taken by some.
That's right. And that is security. The security of this country. No, don't ask him. He put his story. Put yours.
I couldn't tell because how could I have known that this is security and this is not security when there are no guns involved in this?
Did you apply to them to take you to Mbale?
I just went with him. I didn't apply from anybody to take me.
You did not apply. And your family has since been looking for you. Are you aware? Are you aware?
Does he have
Sorry?
Does he have a family?
I have.
You may be throwing it.
He's answering.
I have a family. I'm married with 3 children, and my wife is pretty aware of where I have been, and she has not logged in any complaint whatsoever that she's looking for me.
But she's not looking for you.
I mean, she's at home, and all along she has not told me somebody has gone home looking for me, and she has never asked me that she's looking for me.
For those last 2 weeks, have you been working?
For the last 2 weeks,
Yes.
yes.
Where have you been working?
I told you I have a company that works, telecom builds, and I employ people. So it doesn't necessarily mean being physical
Have you
at work.
reported, have you been to your office for those 2 weeks?
I've not been at the office, but I've been able to communicate to the people who are doing my work.
On 14th September 2020, you did swear 2 affidavits. No, I'm not very sure. Sorry, I retract, and I'll ask you the question once more. I want you to look at this particular affidavit. Which you said you signed Harry. This affidavit, not the one in the ballot. That one? At what time did you swear it? You see that?
Yeah, I do see it.
At what time did you sign it?
You mean
The
signing?
one of Lukwago and Company.
Signing or swearing?
Signing.
It was at around 4
4
5
p.m.
p.m.
4 5 p.m.
Around that.
Good. And that was, you said at Kamocha? Did you start Kamocha at your office in Kamocha?
Yes.
On that day, what time did you leave office?
I left immediately after signing. It was around 5:30.
Around 5:30. Where did you go?
I went to Kampala Road Actually, it was Buganda Road at Hotel Triangle, and I picked Mr. Nkonge and drove him to Wambo.
I see. You picked Mr. Nkonge and you drove him to Wambo. That's his residence. What time did you deliver him in Wambo?
You know, we drive while making stopovers, so I can't read. It was around 8 or some.
Around 8. You left him in Wambo and went back to Kamama. When did you see him again thereafter?
I saw him the following day. Actually, I saw him after 2 days.
Okay. You saw him after 2 days.
Can I give specifics now? We shall get to those.
Yes, my lord. 14th. So did you see him on 16th?
It was 14th.
Yeah.
Then
You did not see him on 15th.
I didn't see him on 15th.
Did you see him on 16th?
Yeah, I saw him on 16th.
Where did you meet?
I met him in town.
Town is big.
I met him at Buganda Road.
At Uganda Road, at the same hotel.
Not at the hotel, there is an office there.
You met him at the same hotel,
Not at the hotel, there is an office where I met him along Buganda Road.
along Buganda Road. Which office is that? Does he have an office there, or you have an office there?
Pardon?
Do you have an office there, or does he have an office there?
He doesn't have an office there, neither do I have one there, but I found him at an office at Buganda Road.
Like, is it a school office, a hospital office?
No, it isn't. It is that office is owned by one lawyer, Tugume.
One lawyer called Tugume.
Yes. A friend, I believe, to him.
A friend to him. Okay. So what did you transact in that office of Mr. Tugume?
On that particular day?
Yes. Nothing.
No, nothing.
Okay. Now, do you know these people calling themselves Barungi, Baingana and Company Advocates?
Barungi, Baingana and Company Advocates.
Yes.
I know them.
Where is their office?
Their office is located in Fort Potro.
Okay. Have you visited them in Fort Potro?
I've not visited them in Fort Potro.
Who do you know in that office in particular?
I know Council Muhinda,
Who?
Council Muhinda and Council Prosper. Yeah.
And Council who?
Prosper.
Prosper. Have you had a meeting with them in Fort Potro regarding this case?
No.
No. Have you ever discussed this case with them?
Yes.
From where?
I discussed this matter after consulting with them at Nick building, that is in Kampala.
In Nick building on the street or in some office?
Was in some office.
In some office.
Yes.
Whose office was that?
That office is for one Council George Yamkama.
George Vyamkama. Is Mr. George Vyamkama in this court? If you look at all of us, I could be that Vyamkama. Is he not in this office? Look here at us, the lawyers. Don't look at the public. Is he here?
He isn't.
He's not. He's not.
No, Judge Byamukama is not in this court.
He has an office at Nick Building.
He has an office at Nick Building on the 60th floor.
At the 60th floor.
Yes.
How, if he's shown to you, would you be able to point him out?
Yes.
Had you met him before?
Yes, I had met him before.
Is he the second gentleman on from the right? The gentleman putting on glasses.
He isn't the one.
He's not the one. What was the subject of your discussion with Mr. George Nyakama? Who is not this one?
Actually, it is where I took oath from when I was swearing the affidavit.
That's where you signed the affidavit from.
Yes.
Look at this affidavit, my lord. I'm looking at the affidavit in MA 492 and 93. Look at this. And look, is that the affidavit you signed from his office? Look at the signature at the back, no trouble.
This is my signature.
That's your signature.
Yes.
Is that the affidavit you signed to Mr. George Byamukama's office at Nick Building?
Please.
Mine.
Can I sign this?
Yeah. Pass it on. Well, my lord will need for the transit facilities. The affidavit you signed for Mr. George Byamukama's office.
Yes, this was signed by me.
So who attended that meeting?
When I signed this,
Yeah, when you signed that, who was in that meeting?
there was Council George Byamukama himself.
Yes.
There was Council Muhinda
Council Hinda
and Council Prosper.
and Council Prosper. Okay. Now, so in that office, you discussed issues to do with this case. And that is where you changed the earlier position from. Correct?
Yes.
Now, look at the signature that you put on this. What date does it bear? The same affidavit, my lord, of in the ML.
It bears the date of 14th September.
2020.
Yes.
And the subject in that is to retract the earlier affidavit which you signed hurriedly. Confirmed.
Yes.
Good. Return. That's my proposal. Who gave you the advice of retracting your earlier deposition? Who advised you?
It was Council Muhinda after and consulted him. Yes.
Is Council Hinda in this court? Is he in this court?
Yes, he is.
Where is he? Would you point him out? I hope not the one.
He's,
The gentleman at my right on his table, after I consulted. So, on the same day, did you sign two affidavits, sir?
On the same day, I didn't sign two affidavits.
Thank you. Now, at what time did you sign this affidavit in Gamukama's office? Morning, afternoon, night?
It was in the morning hours before 1.
Before?
1.
Before 1 o'clock. Good. Gentlemen, have you ever heard of something called perjury, which is telling a lie on oath? Yes or no?
I've ever heard about it.
Do you know it?
I know it.
Do you know it's a criminal offense?
I know it's a criminal offense.
Did you commit perjury? Why are you committing perjury now?
No.
No. You signed an affidavit on 14th September 2020 at 5:30 in Kamwatcha. You signed an affidavit retracting that one on the same date in the morning. And you are not telling me that.
I pray to beg your pardon.
You want to beg my pardon?
Yes, sir.
You heard.
I didn't hear it right.
You signed at 5.
Yes, the same day.
This one you signed in the morning before 1 o'clock.
And you were retracting one you had not signed.
The challenge here could
When you
have
have
been
forgotten that you are under oath.
the challenge could have been the date because I signed. Maybe it could
That's
have
why his
been.
first question was, did you sign on 14th? He said yes. That's why he took you to the timeline now. What time did you sign which one? He said the other one was about 5:30.
No,
This one was about 1 o'clock.
in my own understanding, I didn't sign two affidavits on the same day. This is why
So you're
it
not
contradicts me. No.
But the date, what date did you put?
What date did you?
Give him the two documents.
Sir,
Let me see the two documents.
this is the one you signed hurriedly at Kamwatcha. This is the one you signed not hurriedly, where you took your time, and after consultation at Nick Building. On the same day. Do they bear the same date? You have a diploma in engineering.
This one bears 17th, and this one bears 14th.
Oh. Yeah, oh, sorry. My lord, 14th is, sorry. Liverpool, Kagombe. Yes, this is the one. Here you go. That is the one at Nick Building. Right. Do they bear the same date of 14th September?
They do bear the same dates on the 14th September.
And that was at Nick Building.
What I want to clarify on these dates, when I signed the first affidavit, actually I was asked to sign and not put the date.
Okay.
And I didn't put the date myself. I signed, but I didn't put the date.
On both of them?
No. Actually, both of these, the first one which I signed from Kamwatcha, I was asked not to put the date, which intention I didn't understand because I was not really so much involved into
But
the
the day was
nitty-gritty.
14. Your company.
This is what I can't really tell, my honor. The date, I can't really be so specific when it's not me who wrote in my own handwriting the date.
But when was 5?
You opened the first page. The same.
Yes.
It is here. 15.
It was filed on the 15th of September.
The mayor now return it and rest for more questions. So, in the meeting that you had with the Director General of ISO, what did you discuss?
In the meeting,
Yes. You held with the Director General of Internal Security Organization. What did you discuss?
I have not held any meeting with the Director General
Of ISO.
of ISO.
Do you know him?
I hear about his name.
What is his name?
Is I think Kanokaka.
Kano Kakabagi. Okay. In the other meeting that you had with the CDF, Chief of Defense Forces, at his office, in the presence of Mr. KIBALAMA, what did you discuss?
I've not had such meetings myself.
Has Mr. KIBALAMA ever told you about any?
No.
Even when you were in Bali where you are with him?
He has not shared with me such meetings. I don't know whether it is because they are highly sensitive. I don't know. I've not heard about that.
Okay. So he may not have trusted you.
Could be.
Mr. KIBALAMA says, one, when you signed the affidavit, the original affidavit which you say signed for Kamoja, for he moved to Kayunga and not to Wambo. Okay? You are saying you took him to Wambo, and for you picked him at after 5:30. When you were signing this affidavit, which you signed hurriedly, was Mr. KIBALAMA also in that meeting?
I want to clarify on to that. Mr. KIBALAMA signed his affidavit. I was with him. He signed from Poto at one place, I don't know what it's called, but it's a garden, and I think...
But you were there with him?
Yes, I was there with him.
What time was it?
It was at around 6.
6 p.m.
Yes.
From there, did you proceed with him?
I proceeded with him.
To where?
I took him to Wambo.
Okay.
But...
Now, okay, but?
Actually, he was given papers to sign, not the affidavit. It's all right. He signed, and he had a meeting in Kayunga the following day. So the lawyers pleaded with him to have his signature appended onto these papers, and that I would read the affidavit for him in the morning when they are done. So I took him to Buambo, and then the following morning he proceeded. I didn't move with him to Kayunga, but however, I went to Lukwago and Company Advocates, that is at Kamocha, near where NBS was located, and I read through his affidavit, and of course I didn't even tell him what was in the affidavit, but he had read it, appended his signature on the paper.
Not even tell him. Okay.
No.
Now, thank you for volunteering questions and answers. Now you answer mine.
Yes.
He signed from Bukoto.
That is him, not me.
Yes, him. You are the same person who has just stated in this court a few microseconds ago that you picked him from the hotel along Buganda Road and you drove him to Wam. Which of the two is the correct statement?
Actually, I wish to retract the first statement. Mr. Kagombe. I picked Mr.
You cannot come here under oath and you begin throwing statements like that. What do you retract here?
Sorry, Mr.
These things are I report.
I'm sorry.
Because you're cooking lies in your head and then you say something, you forget and you say something else.
I'm sorry.
You're taking us for drums. I can throw you in.
sorry, Your Worship.
You took oath to say the truth. Now I'm retracting. Either on, I'm warning you for the last time. You make another false statement, you're going to go to zero. We're not here for drama. If I report any other falsehood on this record.
Mr. Kagombe, which of the two statements is correct?
I picked him from Uganda Road, and lawyers were waiting for him at Bokoto. I drove him myself, took him to
So
Bokoto.
you have a third statement.
He signed, and then
Now,
I took him to
That's
Gambuuze.
your third statement now. Correct? Yes? No?
Yes.
It is your third statement. Okay. You are entitled, by the way, you may choose to even bring 10 statements. Just remember one thing, you're on oath. And you should be a serious statement because this is a serious court. You're dealing with serious people. Let's move. At a press conference attended by yourself and Mr. KIBALAMA, you said Kyagulanyi undertook to pay to you, the former executive, or you are part of the new executive as well, $5 million. You are on video. Was it $1 million or million shillings?
In the press conference,
Yes. In the video recording, you said he was supposed to pay you, these people were supposed to pay you $5 million for taking over your party. And they never honored that. Was it $1 million or million shillings?
it was $1 million.
They promised $5 million. Have they paid a portion of it?
No one has been paid to me or to any other person.
What were you selling?
Because we had verbal engagements and gentleman's agreement,
Yes.
this issue just came in as a promise after when things had worked out. And it is not documented anywhere that he said he was going to give us this money.
You only said it verbally.
Yes.
Have things worked out?
Things have not worked out.
What were those things that were going to work out?
We had a series of meetings
Yes.
before we reached the marriage between National Unity Platform and People Power to form one force. And all that we were always talking about was never documented, but according to how we have moved, there is a big lapse. This is why I mean when I
They have
say
not
things.
honored.
Yes.
So therefore things have not worked out. What was supposed to be your share of the $5 million?
That wasn't put into contextualization because it was basically
The
something
animal
that
had
was,
not been slaughtered.
yeah, it was discussed extensively between the two principals.
Okay. Earlier on, you told this court that you were not privy to the preliminary discussions between People Power and Mr. KIBALAMA. Would you now, and this is a second statement that you were part. You had a series of meetings. So which of the two statements is correct? One, that you were not privy to the original meetings, or that you were...
As the principals of two organizations,
Yes.
they had meetings where I was always not in, but I was also involved in, at some level in some meetings where I was it was necessitated for me to attend.
You are an officer of the National Unity Platform, confirmed.
True.
Have you obtained the $5 million to pay the original party officers? Yes or no?
Have I obtained money?
$5
Or
million. You as the new executive of the National Unity Platform to pay the original founders of the national.
I'm not privy to that information.
You are not. You're not. Are you happy with the Chagulanyi and his group for not having honored their bargain of $5 million?
The issue is not about not being paid the $5 million per se,
It is about.
but there could be other things that can cause grievances.
Like which ones? You know, God wants to know them, not there could be. They must be there, and they are specific.
Yeah, from the 14th
Yes,
of
sir.
July.
Would you need a handkerchief?
No, I have one. We agreed on to a number of things which have not really put into
Like
force.
which ones? Say them.
That the previous leadership of National Unity, Reconciliation and Development Party, after that assimilation of the people power, shall be part of the new formation.
Are you part of it? Of the new formation?
By virtue of name, not participation.
No. Are you part? Do you hold a position in National
There
Unity
is,
Platform?
Council, I think there is a difference between holding a position and
I am
participating in that
not asking
position.
that. Do you
I
have
do.
a position?
I do.
Good. And up to 14th of September 2020, you were in office at Kamocha, correct?
Yes,
Did you ever go back to that office after 14th?
no,
On 15th, you did not go back. On 17th, you did not go back. 16th and 17th. Did you go back and they chased you from your office?
no, because I wasn't around.
And where were you?
I have said I was in Mbale.
You were in Mbale. When did you go to Mbale?
It was around the 17th.
17th. Okay, and on the 16th, you slept at your home in Koma, correct? 16th, I'm not going to Mbale. What time did you leave? You left on 17th. What time did you leave Kampala from Mbale?
It was at around 3.
Around 3 p.m. Okay. Did you drive your vehicle?
No,
Whose vehicle did you drive? Or were you driven?
I think we used his friend's vehicle.
His friend's vehicle. You know the friend.
Not certain.
As you were leaving home to come to Kampala, did you inform your family that you were going to Mbale?
So I informed them that I was going to Toro
To Tororo? To do what?
for work.
For what? Who did you tell?
My wife.
Your wife. Were you telling her the truth? Yes or no?
It wasn't.
It was not the truth. Did you intend to tell her a lie?
I didn't intend.
So you went to Mbale after signing this affidavit at Biankama's place?
Yes.
Yes. At what time did it occur to you that you would not be in Kampala and you would be going to Mbale on that day?
He told me at around 11.
11. Was it by telephone or you were with him?
I was with him.
At 11. When he told you that we are going to Mbale. But before you came to town, you had told your wife you were going to Tororo, so you knew you were going somewhere. Okay. Do you have a residence in Mbale?
No.
I don't want to know which place in Mbale you stay to. Are you staying in a hotel?
It is a residence.
Do you know the owner of the residence? Don't tell me the name.
I don't know.
You don't know. You are under state protection, correct?
I've not discussed that, and I don't know whether it is...
Do you have the freedom to move out of that place? Be truthful, you have fallen apart. Do you have the freedom to move out of that residence?
Yes, I do move myself.
You move around Valley Town under no escort.
I've not realized it, but I move.
Why did you need escort to come here today?
I never requested for any escort, and I came with a private car, so I was not
Who did
escorted.
you come with in this car?
I came with Mr. Kibalama.
Do you know what he has told this court or you don't know?
I'm not certain.
Then tell the truth. Is there a way you need this court to help you?
Myself, no.
Yourself, no. You are comfortable in Bali.
Yes, I am.
The UPDF has come out openly to tell the world that you are under their custody and protection. Are they telling a lie? Or are they telling the world the truth?
I've not been escorted by UPDF, and I've not been guarded by any of such.
Because residents now that you pay freedom, whose house are you staying?
Staying at his friend's residence.
Say that. Do you know that friend's name?
I don't know.
You don't know. Are you a free man?
Yes, I'm free.
Are you paying rent for the house where you're staying in Bali? Thank you. Okay, 2 weeks. Young man, 39 years, you're working for a family. What are you doing in Bali?
As I stated to this honorable court, I have a business that is running, and my staying in the Bali doesn't really...
What are you doing in Bali?
Yeah, because the person I went with is still there, and I'm him It is Honorable Chakula.
Is he making progress in this part? And are you happy with his performance?
He is making progress.
Are you happy with his progress there? His performance? And of course you're part of the team. So are you happy with the progress you're making?
This is where the contention now comes, because I already told you.
Are you happy with the progress you are making as the National Executive Committee of the National Assembly?
Not certainly.
You're not sure. Do you have grievances? Yes or no?
Yes.
Have you addressed them to the party president?
Yes.
In
Not in writing.
He has not addressed them.
True.
What are they?
As the Senior Administrative Secretary of the platform,
Yes.
having reached out to this understanding on the 14th, I've always engaged the executive, that the people that I know to be in the executive,
Yes.
about how we agreed actually.
Yes.
Though we agreed when we were few people,
Yeah.
now we are more, very many actually.
Very many.
Yes.
Yes.
I kept addressing this, but there was no action taken. And at least I reached this to all people I assume to.
Have you raised these issues in the National Executive?
There is a position of secretary for youth, secretary for women, they are fighting.
And we are talking about a space of 2 months after Kachiri.
Yes.
You have wanted all those ones to be filled, a delegates conference to be called.
Because it was agreed upon.
Because it was agreed. Could that be the reason you're now up in arms with your colleagues in the executive of the party? Yes?
Certainly, yes.
That is the reason. Have you written to the Electoral Commission to mediate in this? Have you ever written to the Electoral Commission complaining about how to manage the party?
Because I've been part of this commission, and I knew we had not fully submitted the list of all the members that make up that for Electoral Commission to recognize the leadership.
Yes.
So I kept it internal. Yeah, so I
You
did.
kept it in town.
So I have not written to the
Today,
Commission in simple terms.
before you leave the witness box, one, if you got the $5 million these people promised, if the positions were filled, would you happy and would you go back and happily serve with the colleagues in the party?
I wouldn't.
You would not. So the differences are irreconcilable. Correct?
I wouldn't.
Who is the Secretary General of National Unity Platform?
The Secretary General is David Lewis.
It is David Lewis?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Which positions did you say are missing? Did you say national mobilization? Okay. Look at this document. Do you recognize this signature on that document? Down there. Malodam, I'm going to address you on this one. Do you recognize that signature?
Yeah, I do.
Whose signature is that?
This is my signature.
What is your name?
My name is Simbwa.
Okay. What is, and did you recognize the other signature?
This?
Yes.
This is Moses Chiwarama.
And that was your president. You signed it as, don't turn the page, you confuse with copies. What did you sign as?
I signed as the outgoing Secretary General.
Okay. Read the document, to quote.
This is National Unity Platform.
Yes.
Reference 242/26. The 20th of July 2020. The Secretary, Electoral Commission, Kampala, Uganda. Introduction of the elected platform leadership. At the Delegates Conference of the platform held at Kachiri Gardens and Hotel on the 14th of July 2020, the following persons were elected to the corresponding positions.
Read them.
Roman number 1, President, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert. Roman number 2, David Lewis, Secretary General. At 3, Deputy Secretary General Aisha Kabanda. 4, Secretary for Information and Spokesperson Joel Senyonyi. Secretary for Women Affairs Flavia Nabagabe. Secretary for National Mobilization Nancy Fred Ssentamu. Senior Administrative Secretary Simbwa Paul Kagombe.
Yes, sir. Please return. We've got the vacant positions. Okay. On this, read the first, look at the first letter before the one you read.
This first one?
Yes.
Reference to
Not to whom?
the Secretary Electoral Commission. Dear Sir, submission of minutes for Delegates Conference held on the 14th July 2020 at Wakiso Gardens and Hotel.
Okay. Read.
You will recall that on the 24th June 2020, we notified you of our intentions to hold a Delegates Conference on the 14th of July 2020. I write to inform you that the Delegates Conference was successful and business was conducted in accordance with our agenda. I now hereby write to attach the minutes of the State Delegates Conference, which include the elected leaders for the National Unity Platform, in accordance with Section 11 subsection 4 of the Political Parties and Organizations Act 2005. I also hereby introduce them to you. I thank you.
So you want the Electoral Commission to change whenever you have a change of mind. Is that how you want the Electoral Commission, a constitutional body, to transact business the same way? That's what I mean on the application. You want the Electoral Commission to change documents whenever you change your mind.
Not really.
When you why are you in court? You are in court proceeding to the application that these things change at the Electoral Commission. And the reason is you changed your mind when these people did not honor the agreement, correct?
There are factors that fuel that, because anyone would really change their mind if something that you have agreed does not augur well.
Okay.
It is,
when do those factors come into play?
when you have agreed, when what you have agreed about doesn't come to play.
Doesn't come to play. Okay.
Let's wrap up.
Thank you, Madam. Mr. Kagombe, do you know Basile differs?
Basile differs. I don't know him.
You don't know him?
Yes.
Do you know this gentleman called Tual Husky?
I don't know him.
You have been Secretary General to this party.
Yes.
You don't know them.
I don't know them.
And as you referred to them in your original affidavit, you do not recognize them as members of this party.
But the first affidavit, I think I signed the second affidavit.
When you said in the first affidavit you do not know them, you do not recognize them, were you telling the truth?
I cancelled the first affidavit. That is why I signed the second affidavit.
Okay. Before you cancelled it.
So were you lying or not? That's what I'm asking you. In the first one you say you don't know them, and you have repeated it.
Your Worship, I have not interacted with Basile differs, because being
You said you don't know them.
This is what I'm trying to substantiate about. I don't know them, because having been, though I was a Secretary General in that capacity, there was no way I could have known all members of a big organization from wherever they come from.
One of the things to be a youth secretary. So it's lying.
Talk.
I've said I don't know them.
By claiming to be a youth secretary, a position you have said remains vacant. Is he telling a lie? He's not.
I think that comes up to him to prove whether he
A
is.
youth secretary is serving in the same national executive.
But I
board
still
with you.
maintain that I don't know him.
You don't know him. So when you said in that affidavit you don't know him, you were right. Correct?
Yep.
At least until the time you cancelled that affidavit. And now a question came from court. Did you cancel it because it was a lie? That affidavit was false. That was you cancelled it. But because you were advised it.
I didn't cancel the affidavit because of that specific point.
Why did you
Basile, I've
cancel
said it was after consultations that I changed my mind to swear the affidavit.
Where do you cancel it incidentally in this affidavit of 17th? Can you point out to court where you cancel the original affidavit?
signed a supplementary affidavit to.
Okay. Now, you signed it. In paragraph 6, this is what you said. That is my note of 17th September. I regret having been led into signing a first affidavit, as it does not speak the whole truth as to what happened, and that is why I withdraw it. I stand by the second affidavit, drawn by Barungi, by Ghana, and company advocates as the truth. Now, the one of Barungi by Ghana, are you referring to this very one now? This very one? Or you're referring to an earlier one that was signed on 14?
I mean the one that was signed on the 14th, because this was the supplementary to state a second.
Now, I am actually happy, my Lord, and this is my last leg, which brings us close to the answer. So, by that one of Barungi by Ghana, are you referring to this one? Have it.
Yeah, this is what
This is the one you're referring to. Okay. Now this brings us close to the answer.
Which one is that?
My Lord is saying he's standing by this one of 14th in miscellaneous application. Good. So,
We shouldn't even be wasting time with that. Because, yes, in that one he was sharing, now it gets another one of 18,
17,
17,
confirming.
doing similar content.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, my Lord, for the observation. Now, two last questions. One. Mr. Kadron, are you aware that your party has since nominated candidates for youth council, for youth councillors, and have been nominated by the Electoral Commission? Some have gone through and others have failed in the election. Senior Administrative Secretary. Do you know that the youth elections have been conducted in this country by the Electoral Commission?
Yes, I know.
Are you also aware that the Electoral Commission has a roadmap
Certainly I know.
and that it is continuous?
Yes.
Are you aware that some youth have already been elected on your ticket?
I do.
Are you happy with that?
I am.
Are you also aware that councillors have been nominated by your party to run in the national and local government elections? Yes or no?
I am aware.
Are you happy with that?
Not really.
You're not happy with it? You actually don't want them to win.
There is.
Do you want them to win?
Can I make some clarification?
No. Just answer. Do you want them to win? Yes or no?
No.
You don't want. Do you agree that they were late by your signature to join this party? By your signature alone?
They were?
That they were late to join this party by your signature alone? And that you introduced to the world a new leadership in this party that signed their nomination forms and that they took their papers to this same electoral commission, national unity platform, to have the officers you showed to them sign their nomination papers and present to the electoral commission. Do you know it is your signature that led?
I know it is my signature that led to.
And you know that when you announced to the Electoral Commission, you have announced to the entire country and the entire world.
I know, but when processes are not followed, then what
And
happens?
who did not follow the processes? Are they those candidates for you?
When we came from Kachiri, I stand on to this.
Have you ever been the treasurer of this party?
I've not been the treasurer, I've never been.
And you agree that matters of the treasury are handled by the party treasurer,
True.
and that it could only be the party treasurer to testify on issues of facilitation for the delegates conference, and not you. Yes or no?
It is true.
Did you have a treasurer at the time of Kachiri?
At the time of Kachiri, we had a treasurer.
What was the name of that treasurer?
He was Winston Chigozi.
Has he complained to you that he did not get facilitation?
Yes.
Have you ever received accountability from him?
No accountability has ever been brought forward.
Has his complaint ever been addressed to you in writing?
No.
Fine. As you appear to be a horrendous liar, do you know the implication of that lie to the political life of this country and its citizens? Have you ever weighed?
Yes, I do.
What could they be? Do you know just your lie can cause war in this country and millions of people perish? Yes.
It is true.
Do you know? Do you want your party to take power?
This is where the challenge is.
Yes or no?
Which party?
The one you belong to.
This is because it is a
You're a
question.
senior administrative what?
Which part are you in?
I am
Which part are you in?
NUP.
Do you want?
What question are you asking?
I was asking because I
You
want.
said you want your party to take power, unless you have closed. Are you now in DP? You said you want your party to take power, so now which party?
Your
You
worship,
know you belong to two parties now. That's why you're very confused now.
your worship, I have the old party card.
Don't talk that rubbish here. You went to the electoral commission and told them the new party is no. No, you can't be seen to be here saying no. We have the old party of no. You can't have old and new. When you went, you gave them, you misrepresented whatever confusion you have. They have just a new party. And now you see now you're a member of which party now? NURP. Don't think you're all fools. You can say that in your book on that notice. You know the party you are in, you are a senior administrative officer, and I say no, which party?
Do you want your party to take power?
Certainly, yes.
Yes. Do you want to remain an officer of this party?
Yes.
With this conduct, do you want to lead people? Do you want to lead people with this conduct? Have you been facilitated by the state since your life is about facilitation? Has the state assisted you in any way since 17?
I've not been facilitated.
Well,
Press wrap up.
are you aware that in your party president, Chagulanyi, is an aspirant who has written to the Electoral Commission following your signature?
I am aware.
You are aware. And you are aware that he's busy telling Ugandans to vote your party into power.
I'm aware.
And you do not want that to happen. Do you want Chagulanyi as a member of your party? Yes or no?
Yes.
As a member of the party, does he have the right to contest for the presidency of the party?
He does has.
Does he have the right to stand as flag bearer of your party?
Yeah, the constitution allows him.
The constitution of the party, and that's the national constitution.
Yeah.
And by your signature, you led him to pursue those ambitions. Correct?
The
Or not?
point
Yes.
was made, Mr. Ssegona. Let's not repeat it.
My Lord, I thank you very much, and I rest my words.
The examinations.
Bishop, my Lord, I need to step out for a minute.
Mr. Kabonde, you've talked of, when you are being cross-examined, you talked of the minutes, resolution, that you say were forged. Which ones were you referring to? Which minutes resolutions are you referring to in brief?
I meant the resolutions and minutes of February 2019.
Now, specifically, what was that resolution all about?
Don't take us there. All those things are here. You have been a gazette, you have everything. It was attached. Now you want to keep asking him about the whole thing they brought you?
Well, that is all we go to the how to go.
Once again, I'm going to the applicant. My Lord, I believe I also speak for my learned friends for the respondents and we seek directions and submissions.
First submission is Tuesday.
Lord, we are looking at the time now at the hour.
You have the weekend and Monday.
We have the hour, my Lord. My Lord, I seek your indulgence. I read oral or written submission.
My Lord, before the schedule, permit me, and with the indulgence of my colleagues. Right. My Lord, an issue of very fundamental importance has arisen. And this issue relates to the identity of Mr. Vasile Diffas. Vasile Diffas, information we received from the Electoral Commission, and unfortunately those who are closed, is that when you get his name number and punch it into the system, does not show that national anthem. And nobody seems to know him. It is within the power of this Honorable Court, under Section 93 of the Civil Procedure Act, true, but no, we are talking about the way he presents his document to court.
I don't mind. He has been consistent appearing in this court.
I thank you, my lord, and I will.
Blame my lord. And we shall submit on local standards and which will surely show the case.
Preference, my lord, would be oral, or we could.
No, I don't want the drama you're having. Go and write your things and throw them.
Thank you, my lord, we shall throw them.